Hello there, I'm Vas, and I'm here with Nikos Ladas, who got top 8 at LCS 12. Congratulations, Nick.
Thank you.
So,
So
tell me, how was it, the whole tournament like?
it was a really nice experience. It was exhausting to be honest, but I think it was it was a nice result, and I'm really happy for that.
Nice, nice. I'm glad for that. Okay, so before I get into the list, I wanna ask you some questions in general.
Sure.
Um, so first and foremost, we have Buster Blader. Okay.
Yeah.
So for starters, did you expect to top with a rogue deck? Apparently.
Like it's a common question. To be honest, I would not play any event if I did not think it had a chance. Like I tried really hard to make a deck adapt into the current format,
Mhm.
and even if it's a rogue, I really tried my best to have the best possible scenarios to with the matchups I really expected,
Okay.
and I think it worked out.
Okay. I mean, if you went top 8, it sure worked out. To be honest.
Yeah.
So out of all the rogue decks, okay, because you know there are lots of rogue decks out there. Why
Yeah.
specifically Buster Blader?
Yeah, Blader is like the deck I'm working on like a year ago, like when
Okay,
A new Master Rule came out. It was a
okay,
deck that I showed some potential, and I was working out in a different variant, different scenarios, and adapting every single one format with this deck. It's a deck I really like, and it's I don't know. I feel like I like the art. I like the
mm,
gameplay. It's a control with aggro cards, and I really like this gameplay. And I think I've also grown as a player playing this deck. Yeah.
okay, okay. I see. That's a good explanation. So the next kind of obvious question is, what are the good and the bad matchups of Buster Blader?
So let's say the obvious one that let's say the best matchup you have is the Dragon League one.
Yep.
I've also had the chance to play against three of them. Sadly, the top eight one find
Okay.
me without my Buster stuff, so I sadly lost to that. So that's the best matchup. I also see Dinos as a really nice one. They're forced to play like cards like Roll Droplet and draw them in order
Yes.
to out my luck and beat me.
Mhm.
About now, the ones that my deck is weaker against is like, let's say, Prankage is not that effective from my luck and stuff, so Dragoon has to parry this matchup. Also,
Mhm.
the deck I really expect to go that well, and probably, in my opinion, it could win the event is Shadow Dogmatica invoked. I think this deck is so good, it's so consistent, and it has the power to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, it somehow did not manage to go that, but that was what I expected. Like, the most represented deck was also Dragon's End invoked. So I think the call was right.
Yeah. It was kind of expected. I mean,
Yeah,
we've seen that also in LCS 11, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Uh,
Like invoked overperformed there. Yeah,
so I have the list in front of me. I see some really unusual cards. The first one that comes into my mind is Effect Veiler. Uh,
yeah. Many
yeah.
people question that. I don't see Imperm that good. Like even Valor is not that strong. Each low
Yes.
impact hunter, but in my opinion, it's always on point. Each trade, let's say 1-for-1, it's for a laser, it's for some specific, not that let's say hard combo decks. Like you're not gonna stop struggling with Valor. It's just a chop, like something to slow the deck down.
Mm.
But it's really useful in many case scenarios. Like any time I had Valor is really versatile and it worked out a bit. It's also like a level one tuner, so help
Yeah.
me sometimes with a league climb or also with the Busted Dragon
Hmm.
to go synchronize with the Abyss, which was an
Yes.
insane card.
Yes, I see Hot Red. which is a good card to have, but you don't really expect to see this in Buster Blader, so that's very nice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see some Cosmic Cyclones in the main, and I mean, okay, Prosperity, I mean, that should be very nice. I mean, you don't have to use your entire deck probably, so it's a good plus.
So yeah, basically, let's ignore the core stuff. I'm gonna explain the play cards later, but about the Cosmics, I had some, let's say, a lot of like spot change. I decided to increase the number of the deck size. As you see, it's a 50 card deck. It's a bit oversized.
Yeah.
So I had to play, let's say, a lot of tech cards, and I see my trap card gets masked from storms and dusters and heavy back removal. So I wanted to avoid as much as possible that scenario.
Okay.
So I tried to minimize the amount of traps. Like I was playing also Palusek Denomishku, which is a trap I really like to play.
Yeah.
But sadly I was forced to cut that and play only the Ice Dragon Prison, which is a card that is so powerful. Like Undeniable is an amazing card. It's a card that has almost no bad matchups, and it's a plus. I also had the OTK potential with this card plenty of times during the event, even if how funny that may sound.
Yeah.
So about the Cosmic, since I could not play Paleo, I had to have some other back removal in the main deck. It's a really good card to have against Frankies, against Invoke matchup, even against background
especially in the against Invoked.
Yeah. And even if you go first, this card is actually good. It's the left punch for Yu-Gi-Oh is just a resource, so you don't really care for they pay 1,000 in like almost you'd never care for that. So each banish one spell trap. Even in Dragon Link, if you go first, you can go for the Bootsaker, which right now is a really useful card for this deck. So in my opinion, that was a correct lineup to play just those spell and trap cards as a tech choice, and increase the number of the hand traps I use. Like Path, which is the most versatile one, in my opinion, the best hand trap right now, just because of the versatility it has.
Yeah.
Like against any deck you play, you're gonna draw Path. After that, Nibiru. Nibiru had to be there in my opinion because I wanted to have a, let's say, an auto win. If I go second against the combo, like even Dragon right now cannot play that easily around Nibiru. Sadly, Nibiru was far deep into my deck on those Dragon Link matchups, but some other cards carried me on.
Yeah.
Phantasme now, it's a really nice card.
It's a draw 4 against Dragon Link. It's nuts.
Yeah. Phantasme is like amazing card. Helps the consistency. Is also dragon. It's also a body on the board, which helps my deck like a lot. Also has the protection effect that I don't think it came out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good card. Let's say, even though you are not forced anymore to play Link monsters, like every deck is playing Link monster. Link monsters are like busted, so Phantasm is always gonna be live.
Yeah,
a good card. Helped me like a lot.
How did you prepare for the event?
So my preparation, I prepared so well for the event. I was grinding on DB rated. Like you don't have many other options right now.
Yeah.
Like you can't play IRL, so that was my only preparation. I tried really hard to find solutions for almost every possible matchup I was gonna pair up against. So I think, yeah, my preparation was the correct one.
Yeah. I also think you're currently top 8 on DB rankings, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I'm trying to go number 1. Sadly, it's not that easy.
Yeah, I can imagine that, probably.
You have to play a lot, and most important, you have to win, like always.
Yeah, and I also don't think I personally would have the patience to grind on the dueling
Yeah,
book specifically.
yeah.
You know, it is what it
You
is
know,
how it is.
DB hates some players like it has some funny algorithm
Yeah,
sometimes. You
definitely. All right. So now that we covered that, what were your matchups during the event?
So during the round one, I played against Elvis Zodiac. It was a quite expected matchup. It
Yeah.
was a really representative deck.
Hmm.
My deck was really nice. My hands were really nice, so I managed to win that let's say easily for a 2-0 that
Yeah.
and go
Okay.
to to the next round. Uh, to be honest, on the round two, it was something I never expected to play against. It was a Crystal Beast deck. Like
What?
I did not expect. I think anyone expected that to see this deck.
Okay.
Uh, I don't want to be like sound arrogant or something, but that guy just set past both times. Like Dragoon cleared the game on turn two, let's
Yeah.
say. So it was a let's say an easy
Yeah.
2-0.
Okay. Yes.
Moving, yeah, moving on the round three, I matched up with Blitz, Dogmatica, and he also played the Dragon Link engine for the Chaos Roller stuff. It was a
Ah.
really,
Okay.
really hard one. It was really hard matchup.
Okay.
We, especially game one, was so grindy. I had to outgrind everything he had. He had to push me as much as he could. Gladly, BLS Link cleared the game for me,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is something this card is really good on those matchups.
Hmm.
Uh, the game two was he won that quite easily, quite fast. So we moved on the game three, which I won that on time. It was so hard one, like until the point he scooped on his last turn. I was so stressed. I had to go everything mathematically,
Okay.
calculate the damage just to stay above him on the life points to manage to win that round. It was like, in my opinion, I can say it was the best match I had during the whole event. The most
Okay.
exciting one to watch.
Okay.
Moving on, round four, we had a Dragon Link.
Hmm.
Also, in this one, I won 2-0. On the game one, he won the RPS. So
Okay.
I had to break his board. I had to go grind, and like I was playing around a ruler. I did not see a ruler. I knew like inside me I knew he had a ruler, so I tried to outgrind him as much as possible with Dragoon and Ice Dragon Prison I had,
Okay.
and keep the prologue chat to not waste all my resources if he had an out. Like, and it worked out, and I managed to win game one, and game two I had the combo Lancia Gamma break his board, and
Okay.
yeah,
Tough time for the
he,
Dragon player, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I would also be a bit mad after that, to be honest. And like my Buster Link 2 for the first time during the event
Okay.
made itself useful. Let's say all the other times was a buns for prosperity.
Okay.
So moving on, round five, I played against the previous LCS champion,
Okay.
Benki. He is a really good guy. He is a really good player.
Hmm.
I won the first game also there,
Hmm.
and game two, okay, I lost. I could not break his
What
board.
did he play?
He was also playing Dragon, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He played the a new version of the deck with Dragonage and stuff.
Ooh. With
Yeah, it was.
I think I spectated that match, and I think
No, no,
he
no. I actually lost the game one and won
yeah.
the game two and three. Yeah,
Yeah. However, I think he used the new support from Ghost from the Past.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. He did.
yeah. And I think I saw game three, if I'm correct, and it was like really, really insane.
Yeah, yeah. He made the 200 IQ play to like destroy my let's say my link 2 that makes the burn and out his whole board. And because my fusion cannot attack directly, he must to survive for 2 turns
Wow.
until I draw my Nadir and end the game. he played that so smart. It was like I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like only he could pull that off.
That's
So
nice.
that was also the last game of day one. I was really tired after I could not play any more rounds that day. So
Well,
moving on day two, it started not that well. Like I played against Dinos, which Dinos is, let's say, in a good matchup for my deck. Sadly, I managed to open only Dogmatica stuff. No Dragoon, no Buster Blade, which are, let's say, the good cards to play against Dinos.
Yeah.
So I could not win the game one, and on game two, I put the guy first, and sadly, my hand was another time unplayable. I had Shambanila, some cards that did not help me to break his board or something, and so yeah, I lost the 2-0 against the Dino.
That's unfortunate.
So
but,
at that time,
yeah,
I felt a bit stressed. Like, am I gonna bottle the whole day one progress, the 5-0?
Oh.
So yeah, moving on the next round, I played against Guru, which is another Guru control.
Yeah.
It's another, let's say, it's not a good matchup because he runs super poly, he runs cards that maybe make me suffer. So it was a hard one on game one because game two, he also kind of breaked. I opened a bit nuts as well, so it was a 2-0 for that as well. So I had a really good pairings. And moving on to the last round, I had my mind to win as well and go easily to the top 16 with just a win. But sadly, I played against Tri Brigade. He won the RPS and he made a Barry statue lock. I had Nibiru there and he pulled that off on the fourth summon, so my Nibiru was quite useless there. Any other hand trap could be game for me, at least Ash, Vader, or Phantasmic could out the lock and go boost for my lock and stuff. Sadly, game one was lost like that. Game two, I put him first, but sadly I got again locked and I couldn't pull anything to outgrind him. Like I also got smacked by how's the trap's name? Not the torrential, but it's a similar effect of the whole board if 4 more monsters are on the field. Needle Sealing is the name of the card.
Yeah. Totally.
Like I never expected that card to hit me there, and I got -4 from that.
Wow.
Like I think I lost that game from just that Needle Sealing. So yeah, I ended up this Swiss with 6-2. Gladly, I had really good pairings, so they carried me to the top 16 as 15th place. And so for top 16, I played against the number 2 of Swiss, who was playing Eldritch Zodiac. That was also a really nice match to watch. I think I made some weird bastard plays. Like I don't think someone else could pull the gnome off. They were so specific with the buster stuff. I stole his lord, equipped him to my blader, and like he lost his access to his lord. I also grinded his Zodiac monster stuff and won the game one like that. And the game two was pretty smoothly. He did not have the best hand as well. I had everything I needed to end the game and go to the top 4.
I also think that I also think that that duel is up on DB Grinder, if I'm correct.
So it is.
If you wanna go check it out, it's worth to see it, in my opinion. Also, shout outs to DB Grinder if he watches us.
I think I gave my best shot for the game one. I had so many nice mind games I could play with this deck. I really enjoy those.
It's actually required for an event like this, you know.
Yeah. And moving on to the top 4, I paired up against Dragon Link. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, free, let's go top 4." And I had the feeling my journey would stop on top 4. Sadly, and it sadly it came up true.
Yeah.
So I won the RPS. No prologue, no party, someone would say, but I won the game 1 with Dragoon and Ice Dragon Prison. That was everything I had. I pulled the OTK with Ice Dragon Prison, like stealing a dragon from him and OTK.
Okay.
It was a really nice one to watch.
Yes.
And so moving on, game 2, I opened the hand like Storm, Ruler, Gamma, Phantasme, and Lancia, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And I was said, okay, so I'm gonna play. I was praying for Phantasme to give me something at least. Phantasme sadly gave me a Dark Magician and another Ruler. I don't really remember, but like anything I drew was like unplayable. So I tried to push that a bit on my turn. Sadly, that was not possible. So we moved on to game 3.
Okay.
So on game 3, I asked my deck, please give me a prologue, and that's all. We are gonna go top 4. So I opened double Ice Dragon Prison twice, a Flare Delis, a Radius Fusion, and Lancia. So
that's a good change to your hands, to be honest.
Yeah, like any card was counteracted by the other, so I just activate the Radius Fusion and prayed he had no ass.
Yeah.
But he had the ass. So no Dragoon.
Okay.
No Dragoon, no plays. I shed only the 1 ice and passed the turn. Yeah. So yeah, I had to think if I had to go for the ice or Lancia in standby, and he forced me to use the Lancia because he blind caused with my 1 set I had the ice. So I had to change my Lancia to prevent my ice getting punished. And I tried to wait until he was gonna use the World Legacy card Dragon, the spell to revive his dragon, so I could chain and steal his monster. It worked out like a Digicrow.
Okay.
But that was not enough. A Lance and let's say Digicrow was not enough to stop the best deck, the best combo deck of this format. So yeah, I lost the game 3 as well, and that was the end of my LCS experience.
Okay. Either way, from what I hear, it's an amazing performance, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you have any plugins?
Yeah, I have a Twitch channel if you want to check it out.
I have also the link on the bio.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime. Okay, so I have 2 last questions. So first, traditionally, I have to ask any shoutouts.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to every single one of the guys who were on my stream, kept me company during the whole experience, during the whole event.
Nice.
To anyone that was chatting, give me advices for the deck, help me out even if I did not follow their advice. So it put me into a spot I had to think some different. Also for testing partners and stuff. Also, shout out to you for having me here for an amazing and funny interview we have here.
Thanks. The pleasure is all mine for doing something different in my channel.
And for the last shout out, I want to thanks the Luxury Gaming for bringing us that experience during this time. This event was like so well organized during any difficulty they may face. It was a real nice organized. I had so much fun. The pricing and stuff. Yeah, it was really nice one.
Okay, so for the last question, will you win the next LCS?
Oh, that's a nice one. To be honest, I'm gonna be real here. I said that on my stream when I was grinding on DB. I said that I was gonna win this event. I said that. I truly believe that. Sadly, I failed to do that. So that's that deal.
As Thanos said, the reality is often disappointing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so I came up to be a liar, like I lied to them. So,
That's sad.
so I don't know. I hope I'm gonna be passionate enough to try hard for the next LCS show to make something else, something higher. Let's say winning the
Well,
event would be the best case scenario, but it's not easy.
yeah, okay. Well, I wish you my best of luck.
Thank you.
And with that said, should we go for the list?
Okay, sure.
Okay, let's go.
So let's start with the the deck starters, the cards that let you play.
Yeah,
We have my favorite card of the deck, Buster Weld.
yeah.
It's your normal summon. It adds prologue. You're making Blink Rebo after that, so you can have the dragon in the grave. So you
Yeah.
will be able to fulfill the whole Buster lock. And moving forward, we have the Red Eyes Fusion and Triple Insight. So 6 cards to Access Dragoon. Dragoon
Yeah.
is busted. It to auto wins against control matchups. It's
Yeah.
also a really good card. It makes some decks awkward to out, so we need to put that pressure to our opponent.
Yeah, of course.
After that, we have the triple prologue and triple trap trick to have the
Basically, 6
consistent buster buff.
prologues.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
also a nice dragon prison if you
Okay,
need
yeah.
to, if you already have a prologue.
Mhm.
So having as many traps, many different options for trap trick makes the deck only better
Okay.
to have many other options. And for the last starter, we have Nadir. This card is
Okay.
busted. This
Okay.
card is helping so much. It may give you the dragon in the grave. You also have something so splashable. It's really good going second as well. You're forcing a negate or breaking the board with Elder Entity or the
Yeah.
power of Ecclesia with Flare and stuff like that. It's a really good engine to use into this deck.
Mhm.
And last card to help the consistency is Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah.
This card recently came out and helps a lot the deck. Helps like a lot this deck.
Do you
So,
mostly banish for 3 or 6?
I like almost every time I go for 3. Like
Okay.
I have to be desperate as fuck to go for the
Yeah.
6. Like my hand really needs to seek a play if I have to go for 6. And the 3 cards I'm used to banish is if I'm going first, I'm gonna banish Elder Entity, my Pastor Link 2, and the Tri Brigade, since
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to use that anymore because you're not allowed to draw cards after you use the
Yeah.
prosperity, so it's gonna be useless.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
So moving forward, let's say for the hand traps. The hand trap lineup was quite simple. I had the, let's say, best hand trap of the format, the most versatile one, as Blossom.
Yeah.
I had the really the best hand trap to face combo matchups, which is Nibiru in my opinion. Like undeniable. This card is, let's say, an auto win against Dragon and stuff. They cannot play around that usually. Phantasma is also a really strong card. Helps with the consistency, puts a body on the board. And Vader, the underestimated one.
Yeah.
Everyone questions why I played that card. I gave my explanation earlier, so
Yeah.
no need to repeat. I love Vader. Is one of my favorite contraps, so
Okay.
I was definitely gonna play that. So we have the lucky Call by the Grave after that. So yeah, they made that card to be limited just to make people salty when they get hit by Call by the Grave. That's my opinion.
Definitely.
We have the tech cards, Triple Cosmic, Triple Ice. I also gave the explanation about these cards. I think they're both really powerful.
Yeah.
Also very versatile for almost every deck is in the meta right now. And moving on, we have the best cards of the deck, the bricks. Like, let's be real, you cannot play this deck without those bricks. So Double Buster Blader, it's in my opinion, it's the worst card to have in your hand because You cannot fulfill multiple prologues if you have them. So unlike Red Eyes and Dark Magician, you still are able to fulfill your Radiant Fusion even if you
Yeah.
have them in your hand. It's a bit more awkward. It's a big minus, but you still are able to. So Wyvern is, let's say, the best brick above them all. You can also normal summon. You can go for link plays. It's not that awkward. Only if you have both that and Insight, it's a -1. Other way, you can just cost that for Dragoon or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And last two cards are the two memories, the card you're using for the Buster Fusion monster.
With the grave effect and etc.
Yeah, yeah.
So about I wanted to ask you about the Dogmatica monster ratio.
Yeah, it's the minimum one. I can't say I love Dogmatica as an entity. It's something, let's say I'm forced to play, like you need one more archetype to support this deck. This deck has not that good grind game, so you need to have more options, more breaking board cards. And Dogmatica is so generic. It's like a free engine to use in your deck. I don't want to see so many because your starter is Radiant Fusion most times. Like it shakes instead of Wellplay, which is just 3.
So basically, Red Eyes and Nadir Servant contradicts each other.
Yeah. Okay. Like you still can use the Nadir after that, but you cannot put a monster on the field. So it's a bit
the best thing you can do is probably add a flare, but it won't really do much without a Dogmatica on the field. Either way.
Yeah. So that's for the main deck. Should we move on the extra?
Okay.
First. So the extra in this deck is, in my opinion, pretty standard. You don't have that
himself.
Yeah, we have the Buster Blade or the Fusion. It's the Dragon Destroyer. Yeah, the name is real.
Yeah, definitely.
So, the two Buster Dragons. I'm gonna start with the Buster Staff and going forward. And the Buster Wealth, the Protector Wealth, which is the Link 2, does not come off that often. It helps a bit if you are in an awkward spot against the Dragon League matchup. It's gonna help, but most times it's the best target for Prosperity.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have the pretty standard Dragoon and Verte. Link Rebo is also there to stay. You have to play one. For the Dogmatic, the Nadir targets, we have double Elder Entity. It's a good card to use. You bait so many things. It's also making punishment. The pop 2, which is insane.
Yeah.
Art Dragon is a staple on the extra. And the card I first time use, like in a competitive event, is the Tri Brigade, the Blossom.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really useful. Like, unlike me, that I wanted to put a Blader from my hand back to the bottom of the deck, I drew a Dark Magician out of it, so I had to think, why? So yeah, it was a bit unlike, but most times it's gonna work. Other way, just punish it for the Prosperity.
Yeah.
Last cards, we have the three big guys. The Hot Red Dragon, Arctic Abyss. This card is amazing. It's so good. It's so powerful card. Yeah. You can easily make that with Busted Dragon and a level 1 tuner, because your Busted Dragon is gonna get destroyed during your end phase just because of the prologue effect. So you have to not let it be a waste. So you have to either make it in Gear 2 since it's a level 8, or make a single play, something like that. Speaking of the Gear 2, it's another really good card.
Yeah, and it's also something that you don't really expect in this deck to see.
Yeah, it's an auto Dragoon. It also out some many awkward cards you may face.
Yeah.
Also, the protection effect is really helpful in many matchups like Outbleed, Zodiac.
Yeah.
Decks like that pop some cards.
Yeah. The targetless send is always good to have.
Yeah. And last card is the BLS Link. This card is, let's say, it's similar to Dragoon, undestructible, untargetable. It does not have the negate and the
Yeah.
pop effect, but it's really good as well.
Yeah, it can
easy to
help a
make.
lot in the grind game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right,
So
nice.
moving on to the side.
Yeah.
About the side, I had we are in the Lancia format, that's undeniable. So triple Lancia was a mandatory. A card I put in last minute was Gamma. Like, I think after us, Gamma is the best hand trap. Is the second best hand trap in my opinion. It's also very versatile. It's so strong. It's so impactful. But I could not play this card into the main deck simply because of Phantasme. Also, I think if you like, your deck has to support Gamma, like making spells that maybe get negated, so you chain Gamma in your turn.
For example, Chaos Facing Dragon Link or searchers like
in
that.
In my deck, I can't do that. With, let's say, Red Ice Fusion, I'm not allowed to Shaman. Also,
let's say
Nadir,
in your case, your best scenario is Nadir Servant, for example.
Yeah, but still I cannot summon from the extra, so it's a bit waste as well. Yeah. So I kept that inside for the going second matchups. It's an also strategy I follow up, and it went really, really smoothly. To after game one, if I lose anyway, to force my opponent go first. That's only in a more like control or, let's say, mid-range opponent decks.
Yeah.
Like, if I was gonna play against Struggling, of course I'm gonna go first, set up my lurk and stuff. But in the other matchups, I was so prepared, as you see in my extra, for going second. So mostly for going first, I have only the order, as you see. No other cards. I was really careful for when I was gonna lose or force my opponent to go first. So give him some breaks, make his storms and duster useless for turn one, and I would have the power cards to blow him out.
Yeah. I mean, there are 7 blowouts here. So
yeah. Ruler is an amazing card. We don't have calamities, so there is no reason to play droplets instead, in my deck at least.
Yeah.
It's a enchant card against many matchups, especially Dragon Link, let's say.
Yeah.
And the last card is the Triple Storm and the Harvest Feather Duster. I hate the backward deck, so I had to pull them off with some backward hate.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. I had my guns into the side, so I was really prepared for them as well.
Okay, I see your reasoning behind the deck. I really like it. It's very well thought.
Thank you.
So, do you recommend any players to look to maybe try this deck?
As a few months ago, I made a Buster Blader format on DB. Everyone was playing Buster Blader after I was rank 1 on DB. So it's a nice thing to make happen again.
To start a movement, let's say.
Yeah. Personally, I think the deck is easy to play, but it's really hard to master. Like, you can play on an average level pretty easily. It's not that hard deck, but there are some plays, some grind stuff, some decision you have to make. You have to study a lot what your opponent deck are playing, watching the meta, and because you're not a meta deck, you are a rogue deck, you are more like a control deck, you have to adapt them. So the list may change even day after day, depending on what are the opponent decks.
Yeah.
Let's say.
All right, Nick. Thank you very much for coming here.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah,
it was a really nice experience.
Anytime. So, guys, if you really liked the video, be sure to like. Also, check Nikos Ladas on his Twitch channel. He streams while playing mostly Buster Blader, but I also caught you sometimes playing a deck I really like, PK, yeah.
Yeah.
I have that deck IRL, I really want to master it. So I definitely gonna ask you some stuff.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Okay. So that's it, guys. And until next time, this is Vast Gaming signing out.
うつむき笑うその頬を伝う涙一粒